Hello everybody. I don't really know how else to formulate this video. I tried to do like an animation thing, but then I was like, I don't really know if I want to do that. Then I was like, let me just do just audio. But then I was like, that's kind of boring. So here's my face cam so I could be expressive. Um anyway, as the title of this video likely suggests, obviously it suggests we're talking about this. I wanted to talk about my experience with being transgender because I don't know. I just thought it'd be like a fun thing to talk about. And I was just kind of thinking about it recently. Um, so things we're going to talk about is how did I know I was transgender, and kind of like what it feels like. I also have no script, so I'm just freeballing this. Okay, so like how did I know I was transgender? The question of the masses. People often tell me, "Oh, you actually are pretending because people around you are trans." Now, dog, I fear queer people just attract other queer people. It all. Let me give you a timeline first. So first, the story takes place in Arizona. My first move here, not my current move. So this was just like 8 or 9 years ago, so I was in second grade. And I remember I asked my classmate, I was like, hey, do I sound like a girl or do I sound like a boy? And I was really hoping they'd say I sound like a boy because I was like, oh, I sound exactly like my brother. And they told me, like, you sound like a girl. And I'm like, and I remember I was so sad about that because I was like, no, no, no. I tried to convince them, and I was like, no, 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 me and my brother sound the exact same. We sound the exact same. Um, so that was experience one, and I know that just sounds like really insignificant, but to me, I know myself, and I'm thinking back. That was my first sign. That was my first. Oh, something was up. This one, the next sign, sign number two. I remember every time I would make a character to just mess around with and stuff. Like an OC, I would always make male characters. And I remember I was playing like a Roblox Warriors cat game a couple years ago with my brother, and I was playing a male character. He called me a girl, and or like his sister, and I was like, oh, my character's not a girl. My character's dude. He's a boy. I know that's just like I think that's just it might just be like a global thing with trans people. We all make characters. Just like one of our first nights is making characters where in the gender we want to be. Probably, at least for me and other people I've known. So yeah, I would always make male characters. When I moved to Hawaii, so the move after Arizona, so this was just like 5 or 6 years ago, I think. I remember I like caught on to the fact I like being called as a dude. So I decided, you know what, I'll just play around. I'll just let people call me whatever they want to call me. And I remember every time I got called like a dude, I got so excited because I was like, no one ever calls me that. So I was like, let's go. Just over time, I just started really disliking being called a girl. I originally just like was going with any gender and stuff because I was scared that people would get mad at me about like wanting to be what I want to be because my next move was to Maryland, and this was I think in eighth grade. I remember just kind of throughout the year, I think maybe like halfway throughout the year, I just started feeling utterly just disgusted with myself. I had longer hair at the time, and it was just making me just so uncomfortable in my skin. It felt like utterly terrible, and I still feel like that some days. The next sign was still in Maryland, I think. I don't remember like when, but this was when it kind of like snapped in my head that I was like, oh wait, I low key might be. I was holding the door open for this old guy, and when he walked through, he said, "Thank you, young man." And I remember it made me so unbelievably happy. Fast forward freshman year, I asked an old trans friend of mine. I was like, "Hey, just out of curiosity, what were the signs you were trans and that you like knew for sure?" And I remember he told me. I was like, "Oh, okay. Um, so I think I might be, trans." And he asked if I wanted just try out he/him pronouns just for like a bit to see if like I liked it. I was like, "Yeah, let's go with that." So then we did that, and I did really like it when I moved to Arizona next. So my current move where I am now, somewhere in 10th grade. I was getting sick and tired of the name K because people would just automatically assumed I was a girl. And yeah, sure, my voice sounds like a girl, and I know that. And I'm like, I had an old friend group, no longer friends, hate them all. besides my sibling is your twin. Just like jokingly had them. I was like, you know what, you guys pick my new name. I'll go by it. And they came up with the name Caleb. But it was spelled with a C, but I was like, I kinda like the K in my name, so I'll keep it. I'll just like change it. So I have Kaleb. So that's the name I go by. A lot of people know me by. And yeah, some days I'm just like I sit and I'm like, do I really like this name? Do I feel comfortable with this name? I don't think it's just the name. I think it's just knowing that people see me as a girl when sure, biologically, I am female, but that is not what I see myself as. I'm not a girl. I'm a dude. I'm a boy. And obviously, I dropped the old friend group, but I kept the name, stole the name, left them. But yeah, now I'm gonna talk about what does being transgender feel like. Um, Shortened version. To me, it feels awful. I hate it. I hate being trans. I know like a lot of people absolutely adore it, but I hate it because it's just every day I'm misgendered. I'm called a she, I'm called a girl, I'm called a woman, and it just feels like I'm not. I feels like I'm just wearing like a mask. You know, I'm playing a character that I don't know. I'm playing a character that I hate. That's the best way I can really describe it. Is I have a mask on, and I can't take off the mask. People just see me with this mask of a false identity. Sometimes people will tell me like, "Oh, but you look like a boy." I don't know how people do that, but dabba. And as much as appreciate it, they already know what I want to go by. Even if they're telling me that they would never have guessed I was trans, I sorry, but I know you're lying because every person I meet automatically assumes I'm a girl. One person that I know and that I'm friends with saying that they would never have guessed just makes me feel worse because it feels like I'm being pitied. And it doesn't count that once in a blue moon, people will see me as a guy. Yeah, I've had maybe two or three experiences that I can think of where someone automatically assumed that I was a boy. And there are some times where I will look in the mirror and I will cry. I have many times before because I don't like what I see. I know I'm probably gonna get like scolded or something for this, but sometimes I hate myself. I'll look at myself and I'll just wonder why couldn't I have been born how I want to be born. Like I can't describe how it feels. I want to look in the mirror and smile because I like what I see. I want to see who's actually in my head. You know, I want to see the person my brain belongs to. Okay, I really honestly don't know any other way to end this video because it just like escalated, so I'm just gonna end it here.